Aloha, I'm Kiana Cayabyab, and you're watching Star News Live. Here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Hawaii health officials reported 2 new coronavirus-related deaths and 50 new infections today. The fatalities on Oahu and Maui bring the state's virus death toll since the start of the pandemic to 430. The total number of infections in Hawaii is now more than 27,000, while the national total is nearly 28 million. Today's new infection cases include 22 on Oahu, 22 on Maui, 2 on the Big Island, and 4 state residents diagnosed outside of Hawaii. Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi said Oahu is in good shape to soon move to the less restrictive Tier 3 of the city's emergency restrictions. Under Tier 3, restaurants would be allowed to seat groups of up to 10 people. Funerals will be allowed to have up to 25 people in attendance, and gyms and fitness facilities would be able to operate at 50% occupancy. Tier 3 also permits social and outdoor recreational gatherings of up to 10 people. The federal government has awarded Hawaii's Department of Labor $1.2 million to combat fraud that has been plaguing the pandemic unemployment insurance system. The funding from the U.S. Department of Labor is to be used to strengthen identity verification requirements for pandemic unemployment assistance and for pandemic emergency unemployment compensation. State labor officials say they also need the public's assistance to combat fraud by reporting bogus unemployment insurance claims. Hawaii residents can report imposter unemployment claims to the State Department of Labor at 808-762-5751 and choosing option 4. Honolulu police say that a 40-year-old man charged in a jewelry store robbery in Kakaako has also been linked to a November home invasion robbery in Kahala. An Oahu grand jury indicted Keith Catolico Wednesday, charging him with first and second-degree robbery in the late-night break-in of the Opal Fields jewelry store in Waterfront Plaza. Catolico is currently being held at the Oahu Community Correctional Center on $300,000 bail. On February 3rd, Catolico and an accomplice allegedly rode motorcycles into Waterfront Plaza, used a handgun to threaten a security guard, smashed the windows of the jewelry store, and robbed it. Police said Catolico's DNA also matched DNA collected at the scene of a home invasion robbery in Kahala in November. In that crime, a 76-year-old resident said 2 masked suspects entered her home, tied her up with zip ties, and fled with cash and jewelry. The other suspect remains at large. A 26-year-old visitor from California died Thursday after she and several other swimmers were swept out of Waioka Pond in Hana during a flash flood. The other swimmers were able to scramble or swim to safety, but the woman from Vista, California was swept out to the ocean. Maui Fire Department said the woman was last seen clinging to rocks as the flash flood pushed through the pond, which is also known as Venus Pool. The flood happened at about 10 a.m. Firefighters and residents responded with a search on land and sea and from the air. The woman's body was found unresponsive on the rocky shoreline at about 1:30 p.m. Finally, today, state officials have extended the timing for travelers to get COVID tests before coming to Hawaii because of the massive disruption from mainland winter storms. Visitors can now submit negative COVID-19 results from tests that were taken within 4 days of travel to Hawaii instead of just 3 days. The 1-day extension started Thursday and will last until Sunday. Under Hawaii's Safe Travels program, travelers are strongly advised to take a pre-travel COVID test from a trusted testing partner before getting on a plane to Hawaii. A negative test result also allows travelers to skip Hawaii's mandatory 10-day quarantine. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.